what's up everyone? This is Felix with Full Pine Creations. Welcome back to the second episode in our Zero to Hero segment. We're still focusing on openers, and today we're looking at the best ever knot of silk by Jeff McBride. But right before we jump into this video, please subscribe to this channel and give us a like. It goes a long way. And as you know, we never monetize these videos. And if you want to support us directly, please head over to woolpinecreations.com and knock yourself out. That's enough advertising, so let's get into it. As we discussed beforehand, a good opener should establish your persona and build rapport with the audience within the first 60 seconds. Because it is said that within the first 15, the audience is starting to judge you, so you better do something great. Darryl Fitzke wrote in his book Showmanship for Magicians that a good opener has 3 distinctive points: color, movement, and sound. And with the best ever knot of silk, I think this effect brings it home in all 3 categories. The next nugget of information goes back to Standing Up on Stage by Scott Alexander, and he describes 2 options to opening a show. The first option is that you are introduced, you walk on stage, introduce yourself, build rapport with the audience and do something visual to get their attention. The second option is to not talk at all and only do something extremely visual. And in this case, this is option 2, a very dynamic visual piece of magic. The idea is I will walk out to a music track, don't say anything at all, and just do something visual and beautiful with this silk. When you've watched my first video, first of all, thank you very much. And secondly, then you already know the drill. At first, I'm going to watch some performances and dive deep into the history of the effect. Secondly, you will see me practicing it. And thirdly, you will see my very first performance, which is going to be the basis for the mentoring session with Adam afterwards. Right after Adam and I decided on what tricks I'm going to perform, I immediately purchased the best ever knot of silks by Jeff McBride. Sadly, the package didn't arrive at this point, but since I already had the instructions, as always with the history of magic, if I got something wrong or I overlooked something, please feel free to write the correct answer into the comments. It's highly appreciated. I'm really trying to learn, and magic is a vast universe and I'm a newbie in this. So it seems that the trick knot of silk, where the magician ties a knot into a silk, moves it around and pulls it off, dates back to the 1970s. And the inventor is Pavel from Pavel's Magic. Pavel was born in 1945 in Prague, Czechoslovakia, and sadly passed away on the 8th of February 2011 in the age of 65. The biography of Pavel reads super impressive. In the year 1982, he won the FISM Award for the walking knot, which I expect is exactly the basis for the trick we're talking about today. At the age of 17, he won Magician of the Year at the Czech Convention, and in the year 1968, he performed in the Ed Sullivan Show, only to name a few of his accolades. Reading this, Pavel was a creative powerhouse and for decades synonymous with the most innovative magic effects ever created. So, look at his webpage, Pavel Magic. Photo gallery. Oh my gosh. This is him at the age of 10. 13 years old. I think this is something very, very special and something which is kind of unique to magic, because many of the big names started when they were very, very young, and then they spent a lifetime in magic. And I think this is super, super interesting because there are hardly any professions around where you start as a 6-year-old. I can't think of any doctor, engineer, rocket scientist, astronaut or something who started working in this field at the age of 6. So this is super impressive, and having a passion, a lifelong passion, is something really, really rare. So everything started with Pavel, and years later it was brought out as a product by Wayne Loveland. And it was 100% like Pavel invented it. Years later, the magician and businessman John Blake from New York City was the owner of East Coast Magic, and he changed the handling a bit and put it up as a YouTube video where Jeff McBride found the performance and, in his own words, was fooled by it. And from there, the idea to the best ever knot of silk 2.0 was invented. If you don't know who Jeff McBride is, he is a very famous magician based in Las Vegas. He holds 3 Guinness Book records, one of them for throwing cards. He is very famous for his stage performance and his manipulation acts, also his work with masks. Everything he does is very impressive, and he is owner and operator of the McBride School for Magic and Mystery, also based in Las Vegas. And as a side note, Jeff McBride is also the author of the book The Show Doctor, which focuses 100% on stage performance and showmanship, and is also one of the top 10 books Adam and I are going to dive into in our book club segment. Now it's time to look at the performance of a true professional. I believe this is Abigail McBride, and she's performing the best ever knot of silk in the Magic Castle in Hollywood. That's a great outfit. It reminds me of the Mad Hatter from Alice in Wonderland. Alright, this is a great performance. So learn it in minutes, master it in a week, and perform it forever, like it's written on the box, is 100% a true statement and not only marketing, I guess. But in all honesty, I feel that there are so many other difficulties instead of the method. Since I'm going to perform this trick to music, not talking at all and all of that, the method itself is not the difficulty, it's the showmanship behind it. So I'm very curious what obstacles I will have to overcome, as well as how is it going to feel to perform an effect like that. Alright, obstacle number 1, found it. I need some music to perform to. Luckily, I have a subscription to one of the main royalty-free music platforms, which is going to help a ton. And I'm looking for something cinematic, epic, euphoric, upbeat music. Something which makes me feel good while practicing. So the majority of the songs are great as they are, but I have the feeling that since we're talking about a performance, I will have to do some editing to make it fit to the performance I'm going to do. This will usually take a ton of time, so I will speed this up for you.
I'm moving on.